Thomas and Friends, making tracks to great destinations. Dear Christopher, here is your friend Thomas the Tank Engine. He wanted to come out of his station yacht and see the world. These stories tell you how he did it. I hope you like them because you helped me to make them. Your loving Daddy. Today on the island of Sodor, Bertie has to race Edward to the next station. Next, Edward has to save James. But first, Edward's running a bit behind schedule. One morning, Edward was waiting to pick up some passengers from Thomas's train. Peep, peep, we're late. Where's Thomas? He doesn't usually make us wait. Oh dear, what could the matter be, sang the fireman. Johnny's so long, and never you mind about Johnny, laughed the driver. Just you climb onto the roof and look for Thomas. Can you see him? No, replied the fireman. There's Bertie Bust in a tearing hurry. No need to bother with him. Likely he's on a coach tour or something. He clambered back down. Stop! Stop! I've got Thomas's passengers! Wailed Bertie, roaring up to the gates. It was no good. Edward was gone. Bother, said Bertie. Bother Thomas's firemen for not coming to work today. Why did I promise to help the visitors catch their train? Oh. That'll do, Bertie, said his driver. A promise is a promise, and we must keep it. I'll catch Edward or burst, said Bertie. Oh, my gears and axles, he groaned, touring up the hill. I'll never be the same bus again. Oh, hooray, hooray, I see him, cheered Bertie as he reached the top. Oh no, Edward's at the station. No, he stopped at a crossing. Hooray, hooray! Bertie tore down the hill. Well done, Bertie, shouted his passengers. Go it! Bertie skidded into the yard. Wait, wait, cried Bertie. He was just in time to see Edward puffing away. Oh, I'm sorry, said Bertie. Never mind, said the passengers. After him, quickly. Third time lucky, you know. Do you think we'll catch him at the next station, driver? Yeah, there's a good chance. Our road keeps close to the line, and we can climb hills better than Edward. I'll just make sure. He spoke to the station master. Bertie and the passengers waited impatiently. Yes, we'll do it this time, said the driver. Hooray! Called the passengers as Bertie chased after Edward once more. This hill is too steep, this hill is too steep, grumbled the coaches as Edward snorted in front. They reached the top at last and ran smoothly into the station. Beep, beep, whistled Edward. Get in quickly, please. The conductor blew the whistle, and Edward's driver looked back, but the flag didn't wave. Then he heard Bertie. Everything seemed to happen at once, and the station master told the conductor about what had happened. Oh, I'm sorry about the chase, Bertie, said Edward. My fault, replied Bertie. Late at junction. You didn't know about Thomas's passengers. Peep, peep. Goodbye, Bertie. We're off, whistled Edward. 3 cheers for Bertie, called the passengers. Bertie raced back to tell Thomas that all was well. Thank you, Bertie, for keeping your promise, said Thomas. You're a very good friend indeed.
All your friends on the railway will like you all to see just so much fun rocking on the railway can be.
So won't you come along and join them for the ride? Just hang on tight, catch your breath, and come for the ride. Rockin', rockin' on the railway, rollin', rollin' on the railway, movin', moving down the line, swingin', sway from side to side. They'll be rockin' and rollin'. Won't you come for the ride of your life? Watch Duncan go, he can really rock and roll. He can slip, he can slide, he can sway from side to side.
So when you hear him coming and you hear his whistle blow,
you better step aside, cause he can go, go, go! Rockin', rockin' on the railway, rollin', rollin' on the railway, movin', moving down the line, swingin', sway from side to side. They'll be rockin' and a rollin'. Won't you come for the ride of your life?
Fuck those kids and fuck their parents too.
Now we're really moving to and fro. Everyone around shouting more, more, more. Can't get enough of this thrills. And just when you think you can't take any more, you better hang on tight, cause here we go again. Slip, slide, come for the ride. Rockin', rockin' on the railway, rollin', rollin' on the railway, movin', moving down the line, swinging, sway from side to side. They'll be rocking and a rolling. Won't you come for the ride of your life?
Now Gordon's in a hurry, cause Thomas made him late. We have to go much faster, we really can't be late. Soon the coach is rocking, it's sway from side to side,
with the bath water splishing and it's splashing inside. Rockin', rockin' on the railway, rollin', rollin' on the railway, moving, moving down the line, swinging, sway from side to side. They'll be rocking and rolling and a reeling on the railway tonight. Rockin', rockin' on the railway, rollin', rollin' on the railway, moving, moving down the line, swinging, sway from side to side. They'll be rocking and rolling. Won't you come for the ride of your life? They'll be rockin' and a-rollin'. Won't you come for the ride of your life? They'll be rockin' and a-rollin'. Won't you come for the ride of your life? Come for the ride! One afternoon, James had to wait at the station till Edward and his train came in. This made him cross. Late again! Edward laughed, and James fumed away. After James finished his work, he went back to the yards and puffed onto the turntable. He was still feeling bad-tempered and took his rage out on Thomas and Percy. "Edward is impossible," he grumbled to them. "He clanks about like a bunch of old iron, and he's slow. He makes us wait." Thomas and Percy were indignant. "Old? Slow? Why, Edward could beat you in a race any day." "Really?" said James. "I would like to see him do it." Next morning, James's driver was suddenly taken ill. He could hardly stand, so the fireman coupled James, ready for shunting. James was impatient. Suddenly, the signalman shouted. There was James, puffing away down the line. All traffic halted, he called. Then he told the firemen what had happened. 2 boys were on James's footplate fiddling with the controls. Whoa! They trembled off and ran when James started. Oh shit, the phone's ringing. The signalman answered the telephone. Yes? He's here. Right, I'll tell him. The inspector's coming at once. He wants a shunter's pole and a coil of wire. What for? One of the firemen. Search me, but you better get them quickly. The fireman was ready when Edward arrived. The inspector saw the pole and rope. Good man, jump in. Oh, we'll catch him. We'll catch him, puffed Edward. James was laughing. What a lark! What a lark! He chuckled to himself. Suddenly, he was going faster and faster. He realized that he had no driver. What shall I do? I can't stop! Help! Help! We're coming! We're coming! Called Edward. Edward was panting up behind with every ounce of steam he had. At last, he was almost caught up with James. Steady, Edward, called his driver. The inspector stood on Edward's front, holding a noose of rope and the crook of the shunter's pole. He was trying to slip it over James's buffer. The engine swayed and lurched. At last, got him! He shouted, and he pulled the noose tight. Gently braking, Edward's driver checked the engine's speed, and James's fireman scrambled across and took control. Whew! So, the old iron caught you after all, chuckled Edward. Oh, I'm sorry, whispered James. Thank you for saving me. You were splendid, Edward. Oh, that's all right, replied Edward. The engines arrived at the station side by side. Sir Topham Hatt was waiting. A fine piece of work, he said. James, you can rest, and then take your next train. I'm proud of you, Edward. You shall go to the works and have your worn parts mended. Oh, thank you, sir, said Edward. It'll be lovely not to clank.